Did you know that your food security is at risk? Today we dive into the world of seeds where things are shifting into GMOs. I'm talking about monopolization by big corporations. We are in a fight for our food sovereignty. I'm going to show you a lot of what's going on that you may not know about. Probably the only one solution out of this thing. Important information that affects you coming right up. Hey guys, my name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. And if you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most important, news and awareness that affects you, be sure to start this video off with a like, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date, and let's begin. Look folks, I've got a lot to go over, but let's start with this.
I'm literally shaking making this video. You're going to be shocked. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in the weed killer Roundup, and in the mid-90s, a steep incline of the amount of it being used. That's because of the introduction of genetically modified crops like corn and soy, which can be directly sprayed with the weed killer. Blue is the amount of genetically modified crops being planted, and red is the amount of weed killer being sprayed on them. The yellow is the incidences of liver cancers correlating at the same incline. Unfortunately, it's not just liver cancer that has the same chart as this. It's across the board in so many chronic illnesses. I'm going to go through them here with you now.
Folks, this guy ain't pulling this out of a hat. This is coming from the USDA and the CDC. These are official graphs that you guys can look up.
Go through them here with you now. Stroke, mid-90s, up. Diabetes, the same. Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, the same. Deaths from Alzheimer's. Deaths from dementia. Parkinson's disease, mid-90s, up. Autism in 6-year-olds, the prevalence of it, mid-90s up. Autism in 6 to 21-year-olds is the exact same across everyone. Renal disease and death from obesity, it's all the same. Thyroid cancer and then bladder cancer. And this is only a few of them. There was 22 different diseases in this study, including MS and many more. It's absolutely awful. It's there in black and white. I don't know what else to say.
Now we're gonna get into a bunch of facts, but do you guys agree that there's been something seriously lost? Back in the day, grandma, great-grandma, there wasn't always hospitals. There was gardens and fields and outdoors. When something went wrong, they'd go pick something and make a tea. Can't necessarily do that nowadays with all of these vegetables and herbs just smothered with chemicals, right? Doesn't take a lot of investigation to find articles like this. How to identify an injected watermelon, learn how dangerous it is to eat such injected fruits. You got people teaching you how to find the stuff that's not injected. I mean, they feed you stuff all the time. You see stuff like this now. You used to think non-GMO project was good, but you can see now that synthetic pesticides are allowed, Roundup herbicides are allowed, hexane is allowed, sewage sludge is allowed, antibiotics are allowed, ractamine is allowed. So then you think, oh, well then I need to get the USDA organic. And that whole list they give you right there, you ask me, none of it's true. Did you know all major seed companies are now owned by mainly 4 companies? Yeah, I'll tell you which ones those are. But when it comes to that organic label, you won't believe big, powerful people can make anything allowable. This is the reality.
Apple cider vinegar. Gates bought it.
Oh God.
Gates now owns one of the few natural healthy tonics we had, and he's putting the apples in it with
the appeal?
The creepy ass.
Oh, what is that? That's like a coating that they spray on the outside of vegetables?
It's like some schmegma to keep the apples preserved longer.
Is it just apples?
For Costco apples to stay fresher longer.
But what is in it?
I would love to know.
Oh.
I would love to know.
These they get stuff out there before anybody's aware that these things are a problem, and then like years later you're like, what's in it?
Talc, asbestos.
Yeah.
And then you don't find out till later. So it's like talking about this and just being like, not being suspicious about like, should apples last for 4 weeks? And then I guess he owns half of the McDonald's potatoes for the French fries.
Yeah, and we're talking about that perfectly organic apple with the label and everything. So I looked it up real quick. It said a peel can be used on organic food, specifically its organic variant, also organ peel, which is registered with the EPA as a pesticide. And you're getting the sticker that says it's never been tainted with. However, there are concerns regarding the transparency and safety of a peel's ingredients, as it may contain synthetic substances like monoglycerides and diglycerides. which are not commonly found in organic food. Many organic retailers and brands have expressed concerns about using the appeal, indicating that consumers should be cautious and informed about the ingredients in their organic produce. I mean, it doesn't take much looking up to find this stuff out. Can fungicide coating be used on organic produce? And it says yes, it has been approved for use on organic produce. Are Appeal's organic produce coatings safe? Appeal's organic produce coatings may seem harmless, but hidden synthetic ingredients and transparency issues raise serious concerns. Folks, true erosion of real organic foods is in front of your eyes. I'm talking about the biggest seed companies out there. Roundup, cancer lawsuits. Monsanto, which is one of them, has settled over 100,000 Roundup lawsuits, paying out about $11 billion. As of May 2022, there are still 30,000 lawsuits pending. This includes 4,000 cases in multi-district litigation, MDL, in California. You have to think, if they've paid out $11 billion to lawsuits, how are they still the biggest provider of our seeds that feeds America? Well, if you pay attention, you'll see that they're trying to grant immunity to these companies.
I just came out of this subcommittee hearing on HSB 737, which would give pesticide companies immunity for citizens trying to file lawsuits against them for damages. This bill was already shut down in the House Ag Committee, and now it's being brought back in Ways and Means. This bill just passed the subcommittee, and it will take away farmers' rights to pursue legal action after damages are caused to their families and themselves. The basic argument presented by Bayer and other chemical companies is that the lawsuits that are being brought up by them about the damages caused by their products is going to put them out of business. And it's true. Bayer spent $3 billion on average a year over the last 6 years fighting lawsuits and only brought in $300 million in profit. But only 1% of Bayer's civil suits come from Iowa's farmers. I don't know about you, but I would rather see Bayer suffer as a company than Iowa's farmers suffer. Industry should not have more say than the people.
What's your guys' thoughts on that? Kind of crazy, right? But remember, Bayer Monsanto, of all companies, one of the biggest seed providers, I think globally, not just the US. So just so you guys know, this all has to do with seeds. These are the 4 companies that control seeds. 4 major companies control a significant portion of the world's seed market. They're calling it a food source monopoly. Bayer, which is Bayer Monsanto, Corteva, Chem China, and Limagrain. These companies dominate the global food supply through their control over genetically modified and bioengineered seeds, which often come with strict usage agreements that prevent farmers from saving and reusing seeds. This concentration of power has raised concerns about the impact on genetic diversity and farmer independence. So I could deep dive into all kinds of stuff. I've got lots of articles. What this means is they're bullying farmers into buying their crap seeds and not allowing farmers to germinate, reuse the plants, and collect and reuse their heirloom seeds. So real quick, let me throw this in here. I've been using these for years now. It is the best heirloom seed company that I've found so far. Non-GMO, guaranteed to grow, non-hybrid, chemical-free. There is 100 packs of heirloom open pollinated seeds in this vault. So maybe you don't grow a garden, but you want to stash this away just so that you know that you have it. Not a bad idea. Or maybe you're interested in the ultimate medicinal herb collection. 36 heirloom seed packets in this bad boy. And like I said, maybe you guys don't grow a garden, but you want to keep this stuff on hand because they'll last a long time. For any of you out there liking to grow flowers, functional flower garden kit 36. Again, heirloom, open pollinated, non-GMO, proven varieties, non-hybrid. Just real quick so you guys have a viable solution to this problem. Like I said, I've been using these seeds for a very long time. We've grown huge gardens, and this company gives us a special discount code exclusive to our community. Be sure to subscribe because I'll be doing another giveaway of a couple of these vaults like I've done before. If you guys don't have another solution to heirloom seeds, this one out of Idaho, American-made heirloom company, is a pretty darn safe bet. So again, link in the description, pinned comment if you guys are interested in checking those out. And don't forget the discount code. Right here in this video right here, the guy's talking in Chinese. It says, the USA is an agricultural superpower. Its company Monsanto's GMO seeds have dominated Chinese market even now. Now Chinese farmers are forced to plant Monsanto's corn seeds in order to survive in the market. Folks, this is called takeover, and that's not all they're doing with all this advanced technology. They want you to get something that maybe you don't want through your food. Watch this.
Chicago's manufacturing facility looks like a nursery, but inside these plants, they're growing a new kind of vaccine. The technology is called a virus-like particle.
At Medicago, we use a careful step-by-step process to develop vaccines, using our plants as mini bioreactors. We start with the gene sequence or code of a virus. We then use our technology to synthesize the virus code into a real biological product. The code contains genetic instructions that our plants can read, and we insert it into bacteria called Agrobacterium tumefaciens. We submerge the plants in a bath with the bacteria that carries the information into the plant cells. And using a vacuum, we suck out the air between the plant cells and replace it with the liquid. The plants absorb it like a sponge. At the end of their bacterial bath, we return our plants to a carefully controlled greenhouse to let them get on with their natural growing business for at least 4 days. Now the plants will start producing the most important ingredient of our vaccines, virus-like particles.
Clearly already on top of plant-based vaccines. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, why don't we just go back to the good old heirloom seeds, right? Because they're taking this to not only another level, but extreme levels that we never even thought possible. Heard about Budnip? Yeah, ironically, it's in, potatoes, which old Billy G's bought most of all that now. The dangers of Budnip, a chemical herbicide also known as chloroprofam, becomes clear and simple yet illuminating message from a young girl in this video right here. If you guys don't know, watch that one. It's on YouTube. I can't play it on here or they'll hit me with copy. Anyway, it basically describes the dangers of what they're throwing into foods these days to the point where this stuff doesn't even grow. Not like it's supposed to. And then sometimes they come up with the reasons you might be getting cancer. Like right here, your problem is GMO. Most China's GMO seeds are imported from the West, Monsanto. The amount of pesticides used in China are more than all the countries in the world combined now. The farmer is giving his ginger farm a surfer pesticide. Look, at this rate, you guys have so many things on the table with ingredients and tainted foods. It's no wonder why you're a ticking time bomb before you get whatever ailment. Yeah, and companies like Monsanto trying to ruin other countries, but they stand up for themselves. This is a video of thousands of farmers protesting against this stuff. Thousands of Indian farmers are trying to march once again to the capital, Delhi. The protesters' demands are an offshoot of the 2020 farmers' protests, which took Delhi by storm. The seeds of suicide is what they call it. How Monsanto destroys farming in India. And you guys don't think that that's happening in America? Nope. The problem is nobody's marching about it. Everyone's just living their happy little lives, eating the food how it's delivered. Anyway, I could go on and on about this. I have a whole folder on this stuff, but most of you guys don't want a half-an-hour video, so I'll save some for later. Remember, even if you don't grow seeds, or maybe you know somebody that wants to grow seeds or has a garden, next time you got to give them a gift, give them this. Or maybe you have emergency preparations, not some bad things to have on hand, because I don't know, it might not even be available someday. And I twisted their arm into a really good discount code for you guys. That is if you do want it and you don't have another source, or you guys aren't already collecting your own heirloom seeds. Anyway, please hit the subscribe button, set it to all notifications so you guys don't miss news and awareness that I got coming down the pipe. And again, in a future video, I'll give away a couple of these. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you on the next one.